kids. Today we're going to discuss how to light a charcoal chimney for your backyard grill. Here's your typical generic everyday garden variety charcoal chimney. First thing we're going to do is flip it over and stuff it with 3 double sheets of newspaper, loosely wadded up. I found that the local newspaper works better than some of your national newspapers such as USA Today or Wall Street Journal. Those are a little thicker in paper and they don't burn quite as cleanly. You have more residue. So they'll work in a pinch, but our local newspaper seems to be thinner and burns cleaner. So we have 3 loosely wadded double sheets of newspaper, and we flip it over. At this point we dump some dry charcoal. I like to use Kingsford because it burns very consistently and burns well. All the charcoals pale in comparison. For this size grill, I like to fill the chimney to the top. Here's the most critical step of the lighting process. A lot of people think you light it from the sides. I found through trial and error it's best to light it from the bottom and only light it for about 30 seconds, and I usually light it in several different spots for about 5 seconds each. So, and I'll go through the holes in the very bottom and I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's also a good idea to make sure you have plenty of air getting in through these side holes so it can get burning properly. We'll come back in a few minutes and see how they're doing. Okay, it's been close to 10 minutes since we lit the charcoal and we still have quite a bit of smoke coming up, so that's a good sign. If for some reason you don't see a whole lot of smoke coming up after 5 minutes of lighting it, you may want to relight it. Typically it gets going the first time, but occasionally for whatever reason, if there's not enough oxygen or the newspaper's crumpled too tightly or whatever, it may need to be relit, but most of the time it lights the first time. Okay, it's been about a half hour since we lit the briquettes, so now if you notice the top of the briquettes are getting a nice white color to them. This is kind of a critical point. You don't want them to be too far along, but you also don't want them to be too black. You want to make sure you find the right point. You don't want to burn up all your charcoal in the chimney, but you also don't want to scatter your charcoal prematurely. So this is a pretty good point. And if you notice the coals are down about 1 inch or so from the top, and we try to pour this in a nice circular motion to scatter them evenly. Disclaimer, be sure you use proper footwear and or eye protection. And don't burn your hands. Okay, so here we have a pretty decent layer of charcoal here. I'll just move them around a little bit, move some of the not so lit ones in with the better lit briquettes. So now we're ready to put the cooking grate on and start grilling. Bon appetit.